I want to show you guys something. Two ayat in the Quran I'm comparing here. بَلْ عَجِبُوا, and well, keep showing it. Oh yeah, one of them, okay. So بَلْ عَجِبُوا and وَعَجِبُوا. بَلْ عَجِبُوا, rather they found it strange. The ayah underneath it, وَعَجِبُوا, and they found it strange. Isn't it similar? In both cases, the discussion begins with the mushrikun found something strange. Now what did they find strange? أَنْ جَاءَهُمْ مُنذِرٌ مِّنْهُمْ, that a warner came to them from among themselves. What did the mushrikun found strange? That a warner from among themselves came. Who is this warner? Who is it talking about? Call it out. Rasulullah ﷺ. By the way, you guys better get loud, because I'll stop talking forever. When I ask a question, call it out. Who is the warner? Rasulullah ﷺ. Now, the thing is, why is that strange? Let me explain why that's strange. A warner comes with some dangerous information from the outside. There's an army coming from the other side of the mountain. You would have to go outside, see the army, come back and say, hey, there's an army. So a warner has to not be from you, has to be from outside you. What kind of warner is this? He's sitting with us and he's telling us warnings about some world and some angels and some Jahannam and some this and some that. What is he talking about? They find it very strange that he's a warner from among themselves. You understand? Both ayat talk about it. فَقَالَ الْكَافِرُونَ هَذَا شَيْءٌ عَجِيب. Disbelievers said, this is a strange thing. When they talk about a warner, this guy is giving us warning, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, they say, this is a strange thing. هَذَا شَيْءٌ عَجِيب. Now you switch over a little bit, and I want to show this to you. Oh, that's so small. Get big. هَذَا شَيْءٌ عَجِيب. What does it mean, هَذَا شَيْءٌ عَجِيب? This is a strange thing. This is a strange thing. And the other ayah says, إِنَّ هَذَا لَشَيْءٌ عُجَابٌ. What's the difference between the first one and the second one? Do they both have hada and shay? But does the second one have something more? What does it have? It has inna. What else is more? The shay has la shay. And then instead of ajib, what are we saying? Ujab. So there are three differences. Can you see that there are three differences? One is hada shay'un ajib, the second one, the first difference is inna, the second difference is la, and the third difference is ujab. You with me? Okay, now go back. وَعَجِبُوا أَنْ جَاءَهُمْ مُنذِرٌ مِّنْهُمْ. I'm reading the second ayah. They find it strange that a warner came to them from among themselves. وَقَالَ الْكَافِرُونَ هَذَا سَاحِرٌ كَذَّابٌ. And the disbeliever said, this is a magician, a liar who keeps lying over and over again. أَجَعَلَ الْآلِهَةَ إِلَهًا وَاحِدًا. Did he take all of our gods and turn them into one? Did he take all of our aliha and turn them into one? إِنَّ هَذَا لَشَيْءٌ عُجَابٌ. You see where I got that second part from? Now listen. Let me explain these insults against the Prophet ﷺ. What did they call him? Magician and what? Liar. Now, is the Prophet ﷺ doing any magic tricks? I mean, there's no rabbit out of a hat. There's no staff turning into a snake. There's no water parting. What is he doing? What is he doing? He's reciting Quran. And is Quran something you see or something you hear? Tell me, when you hear something, do you call it magic? Somebody says some words, you're like, oh, magical. Do you do that? No. When do you use the word magic? When you see something. If I start floating in the air, like, oh, jinn, I knew he was a jinn. Like, like that sort of thing. Magic is for something that you see. How are they calling the Quran magic? They're calling the Prophet ﷺ a magician because the effect it has on people and the effect it has on them, even themselves, they cannot explain it using common sense. And when you cannot explain things through common sense, you call it a mystery of the unknown, and the mystery of the unknown is called magic. In other words, this is a kind of belief. We say believers have iman in the ghaib, yes? When someone calls someone a magician, they also have iman in the ghaib. In other words, in calling Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam a magician, the kuffar admitted that this cannot be explained through common sense. This is above and beyond explanation. It's magic. Meaning they already took a leap of faith. We think of him being called a magician as an insult. It's not only an insult, it is an admission of their defeat. That they couldn't explain away the Quran. You understand this point? Very heavy. It's really important to understand. Why in the world would they call him a magician? But they didn't just call him a magician. What else did they call him? Kadhab. Even in the word kadhab, he's not kadhib. Kadhib means he's a liar. Kadhab means someone who lies over and over and over and over again. Even that is actually not only an insult, it is also a compliment. Let me tell you how. When somebody says, astaghfirullah, how can kadhab be a compliment? How can this be a good thing? Let me tell you. Be patient, I'll tell you. A liar goes to someone and tells a lie. Then his lie gets discovered. When his lie gets discovered, is he able to lie to the same person again? No, he finds a new victim. Then he goes and lies to that person. His lie gets discovered, he has to move out of town and go lie somewhere else. And then he goes away somewhere else, because once his lies get called a lie, he gives up. The idea that someone comes to you, you call him a liar, you shoo him away, he comes back to you. You put him away, he comes back to you. You put him away, he doesn't go away. All other liars lie one time, they get caught, and what happens? They go away. This man doesn't stop. He keeps telling me the same lies. In other words, he's not like any other liar I've ever seen. He's really committed, and he keeps coming back. This is actually an admission of the commitment of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On the one hand, I will say whatever he's saying is mysteriously magical, but it's still a lie, and I can't. Why does he keep coming back? That's sahirun kadhab. Then they said, why can we not accept this magical truth? Why do we have to call it a lie? Because he's taking all of our gods and turning them into what? One God. Now you tell me. Look at these two ayat. What did they find strange in the first ayah? What did they find strange in the first ayah? Only one thing. What was the one thing? This is that a warner came from among themselves. Is it the same in the second ayah? A warner came among themselves? Yes. But additionally, there are three more things. Additionally, there are three more things. One, he's a magician. Two, he's a perpetual liar. Three, he took all the gods and made them into one. There are three additional things they found strange. The Quran is so accurate that by the end of this sentence, Allah recognizes that elsewhere in another surah entirely, when they only found one thing strange, this is a strange thing. But when they found three more strange things, there should be three more expressions that add to the strangeness that should be said. So inna, certainly, this is truly, la shay, truly. And then ujab, a really strange thing. There are 3 degrees of emphasis in inna hadha la shay'un ujab, because in that ayah there are 3 more things that are strange. And the Quran does this over and over again all over the text. Like from a linguistics perspective, this is either you believe or call it sihr. You have to call it magic. How do you keep track of, wait, in another surah, revealed 2 years ago, I said, هَذَا شَيْءٌ عُجَابٌ. This time I'm saying 3 times the more emphasis, or 3 times the more things that are strange, so I should keep track of that, refer back to that surah, and therefore say, إِنَّا هَذَا لَا شَيْءٌ عُجَابٌ. You can't do it. You can't keep up. I don't even remember what I said 5 minutes ago. You don't either. The Quran remembers what it said in one surah, and compares it perfectly to another surah if a similar statement comes up, and balances them. It's beyond explanation. Just beyond explanation.